What's up, y'all? Tony, Rashad. Y'all know what this is. Tokyo Soul Podcast, Rings of Power, Season 2, Episode 8. The name of said episode is Shadow and Flame. Y'all already know about these spoilers. I just want to explain to people, this is why we be doing this. Like, I can't, like, this is also why sometimes you have to have a little bit of patience when it comes to watching television. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you got to have a hook. And I understand, because you got to have a hook. And if if the hook isn't strong enough, then you will be off of the fishing pole, so to speak.
Perfect. Boy. Yeah. Back to what you were saying about the hook. I know we're going to get into this. Perfect example. Rashad knows me. And, I know pretty much Rashad or whatever. I need to see in the first episode of a show or something like that to really hook me in. If I've never been familiar with, I guess, the franchise or whatever that show, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that show is, Rashad told me about Attack on Titan for about a year or so. I was like, yeah, okay. I keep hearing about it. I'm not sure. It ain't been no 3 years, man. Don't do me like that, Rashad. Don't do me like that. It was a long time. Demon Slayer, maybe. Yes. Demon Slayer, I give you that. But Attack on Titan, and he kept saying, hey, man, after the first episode, you're going to be hooked. Sure enough, I was hooked. I was hooked with this one right here. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was hooked for this finale. Because this finale, I was like, man, I really want to know what they're going to do. Really want to know what they're going to do. The cold open, Rashad, was enough for me. It was enough. The cold open was enough for me. And also the cold open showed why I always say this, and Rashad says this is the most beautifully shot show on television, or whatever device you're watching this on right now, because you have the multi-billion-dollar conglomerate known as Amazon saying, here's a blank check, enjoy yourself, give us something. Rashad?
Yo, we got a whole ass Balrog. And I don't mean we got it. Like this. I don't mean we got like Surtur at the beginning of Love Dawn, oh my god,
Ragnarok. Not
no. Yo,
we got the equivalent of Surtur at the end of Ragnarok. Yo.
I don't even understand how much money this episode cost. Because it's not okay. Because it's not. We're gonna get to the episode, but it's not like they wasn't spending money the whole time. There's only been, I say, like one episode where they was like, we gonna kind of lay off on the special effects, and that was the episode that had the ends, and I know that costs money too. You know what I'm saying? The ends look better in this than it did in the daggone Lord of the Rings.
I mean,
I don't want to be controversial, but I'm saying, I know it's 20 years ago, but y'all love Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings like it's the gospel. All right. So that being said, this episode right here, so good. I just want to shout out Threads, man. Like, I want to say I love y'all, because y'all came when I put out the post a couple of days ago about who's MVP. Man, that thing got almost 3K views. Guess how many votes?
Hit me.
One shy of 700 votes. Hey, man.
Thank y'all.
Man, we appreciate y'all. We really do.
We do.
And and for some reason people was talking about Keller Brimboar. I said, bro, Keller Brimboar. The bastard lost his thumb. How's he the MVP? You know what I'm saying? And then some people was like, what's the MVP? I said, okay. First I thought I was joking, because they had a Galadriel, like, you know what I'm saying, Avatar. I was like, hold on. Oh, you really don't know what it means. I looked up on the internet. I said, oh, man, my bad. I forgot everybody from America like no sports.
Okay, good.
So I'm like, most valuable player, in this case, person. And people was, I had people really going to bat for Keller Brimboar. I thought it was so adorable. But for like the fourth week in a row, the the MVP is Sauron.
Pause. I don't know what happened, but on my end, you froze for a hot second.
Yeah.
Okay,
For some reason, I think my internet is unstable. It's all good. We're gonna keep on going.
So what were you saying about you said some people, I know you said some people were asking what's MVP, then you said that some people had somebody else.
Celebrimbor.
Get out of here, yo. Stop playing in my face. Celebrimbor.
Yeah, they had Celebrimbor as their MVP. I said, okay.
I guess because he got the rings out of there, but no, dude.
I was like, I think we got a misunderstanding of what I mean. I don't mean most valuable person to the show, like an actor. I mean most valuable person in the show. Playing. You know what I'm saying? As a part of the ensemble, not like whatever their real name is. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say Charles Vickers. I said Sauron. You know what I'm saying? So Sauron definitely won. People was going to bat for Celebrimbor. Somebody was like, you know who the real MVP of the episode was?
Who's that?
That mouse.
That's a valuable option.
That joke was hilarious, man.
That is funny.
Hey, and that's a real mouse too. Did not know that. It's a real mouse.
Know that either. Oh wow. Okay.
It was a real mouse. All right, guys. Let's get to the episode. So, like we said, cold open. We on Khazad-dûm. King Durin is
Bishop Magic Don Juan King Durin. Give his title.
My bad. The Bishop Magic himself is just plowing through the mountain with this. I don't know what kind of machine he had.
Yeah, he was almost like a battering ram type thing.
Yeah,
almost. But
I was like, yo, these droids should be making some stuff for this mountain. And they're like, look, yo, your dad's in there. We gotta get this ring up off him. And they're coming there. Oh my God, how can I say this?
Little Durin,
Lord Durin will come in here, living up to his name, because he's like, in his best whatever accent they have, talking about, I gotta slice your hand off. And Bishop said, You ain't gonna take my hand off. You little spade punk. You ain't gonna take my hand. You know what I'm saying? He was like,
hand run strong, baby. You ain't gonna take my hand.
I wish you would take my ring off my hand. And my hand. I can't do it. Oh, shut up. Shut up.
You've always been stronger than me. Even back when we was arm wrestling me as a kid, you made me feel like I was about to win. But then you would beat me. And then he was like, yeah. Boom! Knocks a hole through. He knocked it so hard, he even fell into it a little bit. And they walked in and looked. Dude, that cavern inside that mountain of Mithril was out of control, dude.
Yeah, it was Mithril everywhere.
Everywhere. And then he was like, hey man, hey Lil D, come see what this is. Lil Durin walked in and was like, oh, maybe daddy right. He was like, look here, man. He said, this is what I did. He said, look what we doing for my mountain. And then he was like, Father, that's the problem, man. He was like, you never said this is your mountain. This is all our mountains or whatever. And like, yeah, and they're just having a moment. But then, Rashad, you start to see orange and red light. I know they saying, oh, just doing this. On King Bishop Magic Don Joaquin Durin face, they turn and look. The pure horror on their faces. I said, oh, are we gonna see it? I'm thinking we gonna maybe see the head of the Balrog or maybe just the arm. No, we saw the Balrog in his full glory, the same way when Gandalf had to do, you shall not, you saw it in his full glory. He took his flaming whip, and tripped up the king. And then the king, so this is what's funny to me, Rashad. The king proved that he could have took the ring off anytime he wanted.
Oh yeah, it was a preference. You know what I'm saying?
It was a preference. It was a because Diesel was like saying that, yo, the ring has got him. The ring has got him. Like, the ring, the ring enhanced. They say dwarves are naturally kind of greedy and stuff like that. It enhanced that, but he took it off. He slipped that ring off nice and proper, set it down, and he said, hey, boy, because the Balrog threw the whip and like even the rock was starting to come down on him. He couldn't get a grip to climb up to him, whatever. He says, hey, boy, Daddy done all he can do. It's yours now, baby. The throne is yours now, baby. He was like, I got this. He snatches the axe out of his son's hand and proceeds to do possibly so far on this show the most G thing that I have seen. Because for people that don't know, Balrogs are Maiar. Maiar are basically the same. So there's of course Eru, who's the god of this universe, of this world.
Right.
And below him are his angels, the Valar. The Valar are kind of like, I guess you could say, the archangels. They're the top of the angel food train. But then there's the lower Valar, what they call Maiar. That's basically the Balrogs. That's Sauron is a Maiar. Gandalf, Saruman, and Radagast and all them. Those are like the lower tier angels or whatever. That I guess you could say that kind of, would you say, will walk among us or whatnot. And the Balrogs basically, as Maiar, they chose to hang with Melkor, Morgoth or whatnot. Yeah. This dwarf went up against basically an angel, a fallen angel, and dove. I mean, the way he was like, he jumped and dove at the Balrog, and it caused, I guess, with the Balrog crawler, it caused such a commotion that the mountain started caving in, and it filled. I guess from what we said, we don't see what happens. It fills up the that little hole, and basically King Bishop Don Juan Durin dies. He goes out, like a G, trying to protect his son. And the rest of the dwarves like, oh, I kind of effed up on this situation right here. And then the show open, you know what I'm saying? Then the show open runs.
Yeah.
You want to finish the dwarves part off? Minus the Manus. Manus the big thing that happens with them.
Yeah. So basically, at the dwarves are having a little bit of civil unrest since Bishop died. Mm-hmm. They look like they this is like in church. They looking at him like, look, like your daddy, just because this is a family ministry, don't mean you heir automatically. And also, he been taking tribute from everybody. And they like, look, we want our money back.
right. Like the other, listen, because don't forget, Khazad-dûm, that's the main mountain, but don't forget the Misty Mountain that we saw. That's where Smaug is gonna be at, and all that stuff. Them other dwarves across the Middle Earth are like,
right, man, y'all done like your man really G'd us for our money, so like we want our money back. Right. And also his brother coming out of nowhere, and he even got like a cousin that's trying to get the so this is like a definite somebody passes away and family infighting ensues, and that's what's gonna, of course, is always how the implosion of the family is what kills the family. So like we're gonna see how that resolves itself. Matter of fact, if you read it, then you know how. But like how what they show hopefully next season, which should they should greenlit this yesterday. But anyway. That's the
basically the dwarf.
Let's get to Nori and let's get to the stranger. Get out the way. So
get that out the way.
Still don't know who the dark wizard is. All right, because we get to where the stewards are, and they are cleaning up. You know what I'm saying? Like after that disaster they had. And everybody's kind of like, they're trying. It feels like they're trying to leave, right? Are they trying to leave?
So remember what happened first. It starts off with Comet Jesus. Remember, Tom Bombadil said, "Hey, either you need to go find your staff to get your power.
Oh yeah. You need to go
help your little friend. Well, Space Comet Jesus was like, man, F that. I'm going to help my girls because, you know, they you know what I'm saying, they help me out. So he goes to the little hideout of the stewards, and it looked like it's deserted or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he walks in and he comes up upon good old the Dark Wizard. And they're having a conversation. The Dark Wizard's like, hey, bro, glad you finally made it, man. You know, this and that. And he's like, what? And he was like, hold on, you the Dark Wizard. And he like, man, F that, yo. Like, yo, for real. Like, I'm here to help you, man, and stuff. And he's like, hey, man, it was two little Hartfords. They was with us, you know. And he says, oh, yeah, they right over here. They cool. Hey, yo, bring them on out. The masked dudes come out with blades to their throats. And he's like, and then even the Dark Wizard was like, yo, I said no harm comes to them. These non-powered, stupid humans wearing masks that apparently are irrelevant because we learned nothing of these dudes or whatever. Started talking trash. My man said, get out of here. He pushed him. It kills the one, like the main one. The other two are like, yo, F that, and they dip.
Do you know who they are, Sonny?
Who are they?
The Knights of Ren.
Yo, perfect example. Great build up, nothing at all. I just want to say I still will not forgive J.J. Abrams or whoever was a part of J.J. Abrams for how the Knights of Ren were done. Anyway, besides the point. So, you know, all the Hartfords come out and they like, yo, you the Dark Wizard. He was like, no, that's something that men gave me.
Oh, man.
How can I be bad? Look what I did. I just helped y'all.
Look at me, baby. I got a beard that's both white and black.
You know, I got a salt and pepper beard, baby. I know some of y'all women looking at me. Got a salt and pepper beard. Got my cane here. You know, so I got my pep cane. I'm good. And then he says, look, I helped y'all. I'm here to help. I'm here to be a good guy. And then you got Nori that's like,
but you just killed somebody.
You just killed somebody. And he was like, you know, type thing.
For y'all though.
For y'all though, you know, and then that's when, you know what I'm saying, Space Comet Jesus was like, hey man, like, you a servant of Sauron. You trying to support. Listen, I'm trying to take Sauron out so we can run this thing together, baby. You know, we gonna run this thing. He's like, no, I ain't doing it. Then he was like, you ain't gonna rock with me? F it. And F all your friends too. Say, yo, F it. And F all your friends too. And he makes, because at this point, Space Jesus is still like, you know, Comet Jesus is still like, nope, don't have his powers. He causes like all the like, I guess the little mountain boulders, or whatever, boulders and stuff to fall. And they are taking out these Hartfords and stuff, and they try to duck and they fall in. And he's like, all right, handle this, I'm peace, I'm out. And then finally, one was about to land on the black leader of the Hartfords, the stewards. And then next thing you know, the stranger was able to stop the boulders or whatever, and the destruction that happened. So end up we seeing later on that they're cleaning up, trying to see what they're gonna do. And then Nori goes over to talks to Poppy and them, and they like, yo, these folk ain't never moved before. We basically got to show these people how to migrate and get out of here. And so she goes to talk to before she goes to talk to the stranger, Space Jesus, all the stewards are walking by and they're calling him Grand Elf. As
soon as he said it, I said, oh, I know.
They did it. I said,
I know we going.
I said, I know we doing. They calling him Grand Elf. And then he was like, and then she was like, If he said Grand, he was like, some of these, she says, they never left it. They don't even know what an elf look like or whatever. But you know that, and she was like, you know, you can find your name. Because also too, the dark wizard was like, hey man, you come to me, I can tell you who you are, I can tell you what your name is and all that. But you know, Space Comet wasn't trying to hear that nonsense. So Nori basically says, hey, we've gone as far as we can go with you. It's time for us to go our separate ways. I got my own adventures and you got your own adventures too. They both agree. They do a heartfelt hug. Poppy does the same thing. She's still sniffing around nobody. That little.
It's like okay. So to me, like it really felt like Nori was gonna go somewhere else apart from everybody. Or did I read that wrong?
I think that, but I think because she said, but she did say that these people have never traveled before, and I think she's going to help them kind of, show them how the Hartfords, do that trash nonsense of moving, but maybe not leave people behind.
Because like I was like, man, like Poppy really chose penis over friendship, and I was about to be really weak.
I mean, basically, in a nutshell,
I'm just saying, man. All right, so let's get over to Tom Bombadil's house,
right? Because in the process, Space Common G, he just sees the survey. He watches the friends walk away, and he's walking away, and he looks and he sees a piece of branch, a staff. Yeah. He picks it up. As soon as he picked it up, I said, "This is Gandalf." On top of them saying the name.
Not even that, but Nori actually pushed that to the forefront too. So his point going to save his friends was again the way that he was gonna actually get what he needed to. Mm-hmm. So get to Tom Bombadil's house. And Tom, he was like, "Man, why are you playing games for, yo? Like it was a test the whole time." He's like, "Man, sit down and sing this song."
Sing this song about me.
Yes.
Song about me.
Song about my greatness.
My greatness. And then he was just like, I figured out what my name is. He says, really? This is Gandalf. So, of course, what everyone has thought all along, the stranger is, of course, Gandalf the Grey.
Yeah, so, man.
There we go.
Can we call him young Gandalf? But, either way. Yeah. All right. Let's get to the meat and potatoes in this episode. And that is the war on Eregion.
Or do you want to do Numenor first? Because we got to get them out.
Oh, damn, I forgot about Numenor. Okay,
Numenor,
let's.
Okay.
1 minute on Numenor. So,
okay.
the Pharazôn.
Trash mother. Yo, that's sorry.
Yo, when I mean he's not letting go of his throne, he's not letting go. So basically,
you know what he doing? He putting the January 6th.
Definitely. Tony.
Sorry for y'all that support.
Don't care, yo. J6 vibes all day with Pharazôn. He said, you know what? Let's go round up all the faithful and say that they're basically committing treason and lock them all up. All right, let's do that. On 3. Go. Yeah. And
it told them because he got the leaders together and was like, yeah. So y'all following her, right? Well, you know how she was able to pass the test? Sauron. Want to know how Pharazôn found this out? Because he played with the Palantir himself and saw a vision of. He ain't know who it was, but for some reason he figured out it was Sauron.
Talking about, so look at his letter. I'm like, this is the flimsiest piece of evidence I've ever like. Yo, when I mean
trash.
He was
trash.
When I mean he was really on his we're gonna go to Arizona and recount these votes in Maricopa County. That's what that was.
Yes, he was.
Like for real. Like we definitely we're going to Georgia. You know what I'm saying? We're going to Georgia.
We're going to Georgia. Mm-hmm.
Yo, so rounds up everybody, starts basically in jailing them or killing them, whatever. And the guards go out to the city, start rounding people up, you know what I'm saying? And then old trash daughter of Illendale says, "Oh, Dad, you need to get out of here."
You saw he was egging her? He's like, "Man,
get out of my face." And then he hears a noise in the background, like, "Oh shit, I do need to get out of here." Mm-hmm. And he's behind the corner. She punks the knight or whatever. Mm-hmm. He ends up skedaddling to the queen. He should have clapped them cheeks. I mean, like,
yeah.
But but he was, he's righteous man of faith, and he basically looking out like, we need to get out of here. She was like, you know what? This is the end of the road for me. I ain't got eyes, but I can see that I need to be here, and you need to go. Mm-hmm. Essentially,
but something very important happened.
What's that?
So before he was ready to leave, she says, "That is Narsil. Take Narsil."
Oh yeah, the sword.
So Narsil, for y'all just trying to put 2 and 2 together with this, that is the sword that was used to cut off Sauron's finger in the cold open of Fellowship of the Ring. That ends up becoming the sword for the king of Gondor, of, you know what I'm saying, the united men that Aragorn had. Remember, it shattered when we cut off his finger, and then Elrond they kept it, and then they reforged the sword so Aragorn could use it. So that is Narsil, the sword of whoever is the rightful ruler of Numenor, aka the Dunedain people or whatnot. So yeah, so you're welcome, sir.
Good lore dump there, because I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh man, another special sword. Love these swords in these shows. You know what I'm saying? What's that, Dark Sister? Anyway, so they say their goodbyes. You know what I'm saying? And we end up seeing how he leaves. Okay, she's like, reclaim your ship, get out of here. She ends up going in front of the king. Of course, you know he and she locked up, whatever. Let's get back to the Numenorian settlement.
Yes.
And
whew, boy.
Man, what is that dude's name, yo?
So Isildur, we finally see Isildur again for the first time in what, like 4 episodes, Rashad? Or whatever?
Yeah, he appears.
He's like in Theo's hut mourning because he can't get them little peasant girl draws that he wanted because her betrothed, you know, they found her betrothed or whatever, and he's talking, and like, you know, Theo, and like him and Theo really bonded because Theo was like talking to him, like, and Isildur tells how he lost his mother, and he was like, yeah, I heard the story about how you lost your mother, but he was like, yo, how did you deal with that, you know? And he basically told him, hey man, you just got to keep going, type thing. And Theo, I'm glad this season he's not a dick anymore, like he was. He's
starting to mature. You know what I'm saying?
So he hugs Isildur, was like, all right, cool, I'm about to go run some more errands. He says, yeah, the ships are right off the coast, you know what I'm saying, the Numenorians that are going to come help us out or whatever. And then little peasant girl, I can't think of her name for nothing right now, but I'm just gonna call her little peasant girl, comes in. Yeah. She comes and she's like, oh, these are bandages I'm replacing for Theo. Isildur's looking and he's talking to her, and he's like, and they talking, and he like, yeah, so your man's back, huh? He basically, Isildur was going on his whole Drake's Marvin room mode after that you love so much. I'm just saying you can do better.
He on his Carl Thomas, you know what I'm saying? He said, boom, boom, boom.
I mean, right, yeah, you're right. He was.
It was. All right, stop playing around.
And so they're talking, and he's like, yeah, where your man's at? He's like, oh, he's laying the foundation down for our house. And long story short, they talk to each other. They start smooching and kissing up on each other. And he's like, hey, yo, just leave that nigga. Come on with me. Yo, come on with me to Numenor, girl. Listen, I can get you on this boat. Just please, baby, please. He was like, there you go, Dwayne Wayne when Whitley was about to get married. Please, baby. I love you. Will you take me, baby?
Not Byron.
Yeah, take the Byron. He's like, please, baby, please. And they holding hands, and he's like, all right, bet, cool. So then we cut to the docks. And it's crazy because it seems it's like Theo is the leader of this little kid is like, what, 15, 16. He's like the leader of this little, you know, Numenorian settlement or whatnot. And so the boat, you see the Numenorian like armor of the guys come in, and then we see him, Rashad. What's that bastard's name?
I'm trying to find it. Keep on talking.
So, y'all, we see Alphazon's son, the trash ass dude that killed Isildur's best friend at the temple on Numenor, and who's just a smug like, I need for this guy to die. I need for him to die nice and slow, by the way. And I don't mean I don't mean, you know, saying nice and slow. I ain't talking about Usher. I'm talking about nice and slow. He needs to die. He comes off the boat and he just straight up declared, and the guy's like, hey, and then Theo's like, hey, yo, where the supplies at and stuff or whatever. Yes, this is no longer a Numenorian settlement. This is now a Numenorian like war camp. You know what I'm saying? Like war camp for his soldiers and stuff. And he like, what? And then next thing you know, Isildur sees him and was like, "Hey man, what's up?" Because Isildur has no idea what the hell is going on in Numenor, and he sees the guy and he's like, and you see how shook the dude is like, "Oh, hey, your sister gonna be so happy you alive, man. What's good, bro? Nothing, man. What's up?" And then he was like, "Yo, man, so good you had to help." He was like, "Man, he was like, yeah, things change." He said, "Hey, man, it's a few more people I want to bring on this thing. They aren't Numenorian, but they need to come, whatever." He was like, "Well, no, that's not what's gonna happen here." He was like, "Hey, man, my father,
highborn only,
highborn only." He was highborn. He was like, "Hey, man, what the hell you talking about? My daddy is in charge of the Navy." So the Navy, and he Lord, and Tar Muriel. He was like, "Yeah, Tar Muriel, my father's not a king, is the ruler of Numenor, and your father is, he said it with that sling. Remember his arm got broke? He still got the sling. Your father now is a traitor to." He said that it's the door said, grabbed that dude was by the neck, and they snatched him up, and he was like, "Look here." He said, "Either you do what you're told, or I can take these people out right now." He says, "They look pretty hungry." And I was like, "That's effed up." So
yeah, I'm about to kill your horse.
yeah, I'm gonna kill your horse because he asked the dude. He said, "How did you survive?" Because they all thought he was dead. He was like, "Hey man, if it weren't for my horse over here, I would be." And so he basically tells the settlement people, "Look here, this is now a stronghold for Numenorian, for the soldiers, and y'all are gonna help rebuild the Numenorian fleet. Y'all gonna get He said, "Y'all gonna cut these trees down and stuff." And they're like, "Hey man, what about food? Y'all promised us food and provisions." He was like, "I see a lot of trees here. It shouldn't be a problem." It is a problem, because we saw what happened in that episode where they made a promise to the Ents that, "Hey, we ain't gonna mess with these no more."
Very true. I forgot about that.
Mess with y'all
Yeah.
trees or whatever, no more. So, to close out this part, at the end of the episode, you see the Numenorian soldiers are like, starting to get stuff together. You see that they're kind of like bossing around those people what to do. And then you got Isildur on the boat being sailed back to Numenor, just sitting there looking all sad. And his peasant girl that he's after, she's looking at him leave the docks. And her man is right beside her, like, "Man, give me your goddamn hand." Looking at that daggone dude or whatever.
She was like, "I don't really want to interlock fingers with you." Is Farazan's son named Belzegar? Is that his name?
So.
Yeah.
I think it is. I
think so. Yeah.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, ends the Numenorian saga. Let's get to, like you said.
It's not. I lied. Anyway, so
okay,
with the race to save Eregion, which is a very pointless endeavor at this point. We had the first, I just want to shout out to Sauron. And first is this, okay. The one shot they had of it's like the multiple back-to-back one shots. Mm-hmm. They have a perspective of people running through the wall. First, it was the orcs coming through. Then you see them arrowing, random and killing elves. Then we get a shot of him, like, bow and arrows, the elves on the little, the top. And then you see them
jump down.
Then you see the other one running, and boom. Then all of a sudden you see Galadriel cutting people up, her leading like a couple like women and kids out of there. Dope scene. And then we go back to the workshop, and Celebrimbor.
It's target practice.
Yo. He said, "I'm gonna shoot arrows at every non-arterial point in your body, but it's gonna hurt. I'm gonna keep you alive." And he said that to him too. He said, "Man, I can keep you alive as long as I want. I can even bring you back. I can even bring back the light." You know what I'm saying? And Celebrimbor was like, "Look, yo, I'm not helping you. I don't care. I mean, you fooled everybody. You can't fool me again." And
he had like 8 arrows.
he had one too many. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Sauron is like, "Look, yo, I need you to do it. I need you to do it what I'm telling you to do." And in the midst of that, some orcs run up in there, and they're like,
even before that, Sauron is like, "Hey, yo, I can make all this in." And he was like,
Man, stop lying to me.
I can make all this end right here. I can. Then Sauron was like, I'll leave you to the orcs. Have you ever seen orcs that won't battle? Yeah, they kind of uncontrollable. And they go out there. So Sauron's just telling him this stuff. And then Sauron's like, I can clear the world. I can purge the world. I can make things better. And then he just like, that's when Celebrimbor was like, Sauron, you think you're the gift bringer. You think you're this. Like, he says, like, you don't even really believe yourself. He says, you want to be the Lord. He says, you want to be the Lord of this and that. He says, the only thing you're going to be the Lord of is the Lord of the Rings. Sauron lost his effing mind when he said that. He proceeded to take a spear, chuck that thing into Celebrimbor, and lifted him up with it. And Celebrimbor,
you know the funny thing was?
What's that?
He lifted it up, and then he propped it on the ground.
Yeah, like he lifted up and like,
propped it on the ground.
Wedge this bottom. I'm gonna wedge this bottom part, right? And he wedged it into the ground. He just sitting there, and Celebrimbor was just like, Celebrimbor was talking. He was like, "Hey, I'm about to go to the Great Halls. When I die, I know where I'm gonna go." He was like, "You just pissed off that you ain't gonna be able to go."
He said, I'm about to be climbing the stairway to heaven.
Or whatever.
Step.
And then Celebrimbor gives up the ghost, man, and he passes away. He
died. And to everybody who on Threads said that Celebrimbor was the MVP, is this your king?
Is this your king?
That's all we got to say. Yeah.
So next thing you know, that's when you said, Rashad, the orcs bust up in there.
Yo, the orcs up in there, they like gung ho, but they're also very uncertain. They're like, hold on. Are you Sauron?
Like, are you him?
Are you really him? You know what I'm saying? And you know what he says? Every time. Oh, I go by many names. Some people call me Helverin. Some people call me Sexy Sauron.
Yeah.
Other people call me Anatar. But my people call me Satosaurus Rex. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, come on, man. And as soon as they popped up in there, I was like, orcs is about to be under Sauron's control. As soon I said he about to put the curse on all of them. It was dumb for Adar to tell them to go find Sauron.
Yes.
Dumb. He should have did it himself.
All right. So then we saw Galadriel leading some elves out through a tunnel. They come out the tunnel on another side, I guess another side of the saying little fortress or whatever, and they're thinking everything is great. Psych! They look on top of the cliff. It's just basically a unit of orcs just sitting there like, yeah, y'all elves about to die today, and you children elves. And Galadriel is looking like, damn. And so she finally says, look here, it's me, y'all father. It's me that y'all father want. Let them go, and I will surrender and go with you. And they like, why would we do that? And she said, I got 9 reasons why I didn't do that. She had the bag with the 9 rings for men. And them dudes was like, bet.
Cool. Rings, you say. All right.
Rings, you say. So they take her. So they actually are, the orcs are creatures of their word. They allow the elves to go on, and they take Galadriel. And you see Adar, and it's like he's kneeling and praying at a rock or something. You just see the back of him. You don't see him at all. You see the back of him. And they're like, Father, the she-elf has turned herself in. And they throw her sword down and stuff. And she's sitting there looking, and he's like, go, leave us. And you don't see him at all, his face. You just still see the back of his head. And then next thing you know, Galadriel's like, look here, fine. I am willing to work with you. I'm willing to help. We're going to take this dude out. It's going to be good. Let's work together. Next thing you know, you see his hand come up, and she notices her ring that Adar is wearing. And then next thing you know, we turn around, and we see Sexosaurus Adar.
Mm-hmm.
The ring has converted Adar back to his natural elfish self before he was twisted by Morgoth to become the first orc. And Galadriel looked like she was into it a little bit. She saw,
like, oh, you an elf for real.
You an elf for real with your sexy black raven hair. And I mean,
you.
Everything was cleared up, and he was like, I haven't looked this way in a long time. This is the first time I've looked like this. He said since before, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And he's like, look here, fine. He agrees to her terms.
Mm-hmm.
I will help you. We will do that. He says, I will help you. You're gonna help me. Cool. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna take him out. I'll leave Eregion alone after that, and I'm gonna take me and my children back to Mordor, and we're gonna live in peace. And I'm gonna teach them another way. He straight up told them that. And Adar is being very diplomatic. He's being very cordial. And
very
he's like
forthright as well.
Forthright as well. And she's in Morgoth's crown is right there and everything too, right there beside it. And she's like, cool. And he even takes the ring off and gives it back to her.
He said, Tony, I'm tired of being a handsome Squidward, man. Take this ring back.
He was like, yeah. You know what it was? He was like, Arya Stark. One day you're gonna marry a fine lord and bear him a bunch of, he has his own holdfast and bear him a bunch of children. He was like, that's not me. He said, that's not me. Gave her back the ring. She put it on, and you started seeing his face deteriorate back into the orc that he is. The next thing you know, you see like the leader of the scout orcs that, the scout orcs, he's like on a stretch. They're bringing him in. And you see the concern, because that's one thing about him. He is always concerned about the orcs, because they refer to him as the father, because they say he's like one of the first. And he goes over and is like, yo, what happened? What happened? He was like, it was Sauron. It was Sauron. We saw him. He wounded me. He took all the other guys. He was like, you gonna be okay? He was like, no, it's too late. He was like, no, it's gonna be okay. I will avenge you. He said, no, it's too late. And proceeds to shank Adar. And Galadriel is completely like flabbergasted, like, wait a minute, like
what
is going on? Going on here? And he's shanking, and then the other orcs come, and it becomes a et tu brute party.
Oh, it does.
They started stabbing Adar like the Romans stabbed damn Julius Caesar. They was they was all just having a field day. And then next thing you know, Galadriel felt the presence. She turns around, and there is Sauron himself.
She's like,
right here. This nigga. And he just grabs Morgoth's helmet, grabs Morgoth's crown, and they walk over, and like they are having a field day, Rashad, stabbing. And you know why Sauron is enjoying this? That's the same way that they killed him in the first age. They had him go away. And then finally he looked at the final lead orc or whatever, and he got on his hands and plunged the last little dagger. And that is the end of our guy Adar. So
RP Adar, yo. You know what I'm saying?
So you know what? My thing with Adar was a real one. Adar really was a real one. Complicated character. He was a real one. But also too, damn, we didn't get to see what I think most of us wanted to see. A battle between Adar and Sauron. We didn't get that. You know what we got to say it? We got Galadriel versus Sauron.
And Tony. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how Galadriel ousted him in the first stage. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Because
ain't no way.
She was getting washed.
So for those of y'all that haven't seen this or whatever, and this is your first time coming here seeing this isn't Galadriel in all her power in the Lord of the Rings film and the Hobbit or whatever, when she was like, instead of a Dark Lord, you'll have a Dark Queen. And when she is fully powered, she is, when she showed you Darth Galadriel or whatever, this ain't Galadriel. Galadriel's still using the sword and everything. And Sauron was playing with her the same way Vader played with Kiva and Obi-Wan in the Kenobi show.
God, that is so true. I mean, because he let her, dance around for a little bit. And about a point where he stabbed Morgoth's crown and like her shoulder chest area. I was like, ooh, that hurt. And she's still trying to crawl, throws on the ground, kicks her sword and everything. And I just love how Sauron, to his detriment, he still be trying to get people on his side.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. Because Sauron was like, look, yo, like, hey man, like I can heal you up. Just give me your ring. You know what I'm saying? I already got the rings of men. You know what I'm saying? Because
give me one of your rings. You know what I'm saying?
Those fell out your bra. Just give me your ring. You know what I'm saying? We can be all good.
The Elvish rings were not touched by him.
Oh, not at all.
You
unfazed.
You want to know who Sauron is, Rashad?
Who's that?
Sports reference. Sauron is LeBron when he went to Miami. Became what you would call. He tried to embrace being a villain. He wanted to be a villain. He like, oh, so y'all think I'm a villain? I'm gonna be a villain. But I still want y'all to like me.
Yeah, because season 1 in Miami, LeBron, he definitely had the black hat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like he was William from Westwood.
But he still wanted
people
to like him.
He still wanted the love. And I think that's Sauron's good point. That's Sauron's downfall because even though he's a megalomaniac, he still wants he still wants to feel the love of the people. And even if it's in his own twisted way, people being twisted to his will, thank you, is definitely his form of what he considers love. So he basically has her on a cliff. And did you also peep how that area is probably going to be where he builds all his stuff at? Because remember, like there was the little small outline of like the tuning fork hooks. Like, I think that's gonna be where he
builds on Baba Dora.
Also he creates a whole lake valley of fire. But yeah, so has her backed up, and she is acting like, okay, I'm gonna give
me that range.
And she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. I got you. Psych. And then plunges herself off the side of the cliff. I'm like, yo, Galadriel is.
She drops the bag first with the 9 rings, and but she was a G.
She the realest one, yo. Like I said, of course, we know she can't die because she ends up being there in the end. But like the way that she was willing to sacrifice herself for that was like, I really feel that. The crazy part was like they're on like battlefield, like by this point,
King Gil-galad, and Elrond.
They all show up and they're like they
are captured.
They are murdering people, yo. Like just a beautiful job of showing them at their best.
Yeah, the orcs are just having a field day hacking up elves and stuff. But they did get the command of don't hurt these two right here. But you see how smart Gil-galad is, what he did? I don't even think people noticed what he did.
What's that?
He had his ring of power and he was in cuffs. He turned it where the jewel was under to make it almost like a wedding band. Like, so they wouldn't know he had that ring. He took it and turned it to where you just saw the band part. And I just love how Elrond tried to reason with these damn orcs who were having a field day. These orcs, so these orcs have they've captured High King Gil-galad because Gilgalad is the king of the Nordor elf. You know what I'm saying? The Nordor elves. Elrond is like, you know, say he's a high, you know, say he's part of that royal family too. He's been captured. They captured some of the other elves and stuff like that. And Elrond sees the dude grab a torch, and he's like, "No, God, please don't do." And he was like, the orc was looking like, "What?" He was like, "It's just a bunch of papers and stuff." He said, "Those are basically the notes and everything that Celebrimbor has had through his life that he created. All the stuff, his notes, you know what I'm saying, inventions, whatever, right there. Those are, he is the greatest elfsmith that ever lived. Those are more important than anything. Please do not burn that. That's just ain't the history of Eregion. That's his stuff right there." That walks said, "All right, man, F these daggone things," and flung that.
Tony, like, okay, quick aside, because I got time. The funniest thing about this episode that's in stark contrast with, let's just bring up our most loved and hate director, and that's Zack Snyder. There was a really good use of slow-mo in this episode. Like that scene right there, when he like turned around and like that bastard smirked.
Yeah.
All that was slow-mo. Some of the fight with Sauron and Galadriel, slow motion. And it wasn't overused. It just was like it was the powdered sugar on top of a delicious cake. You know what I'm saying? With no icing. You know, so we had like a, you know, like let's say a pistachio cake. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of powdered sugar on top of that. We not trying to
some beignets. You know what I'm saying? Baby.
Just something, you know, just you know, a little bit of sweet. I ain't trying to you know what I'm saying, overdo it. Yeah. But that's what and they used it, and I noticed that like throughout the episode. Even when Bishop Don Juan was about to die, awesome use of slow motion. Yes, and it wasn't like because they built up to it. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like, it wasn't just like a
the anticipation built for it to happen.
Yeah, like Zack Snyder be using this like circle jerk of slow motion. And I wish that he would stop that. Like, we're not trying to see who's gonna get it the fastest. We want to see some sort of anticipation, like you said. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got Gilgalad, we got Arendir, we got Elrond.
Oh yeah, my fault. Yeah, Arendir shows up.
Arendir shows up. Like, whoo, thank the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, you know how we've been feeling.
You know what I'm saying? Our homie Liz can't take too many black L's on this show today. So he shows up, and they're all, you know what I'm saying, in chains, and then all of a sudden Elrond hears
he snapped. But remember, Elrond snapped. Because they burnt the stuff.
Yeah.
He was trying to fight him.
Bro, calm your ass down, yo.
And then they was about to kill King Gilgalad. And dude was like, "Yo, chill." No, and then all of a sudden they hear, "Ooh," and they all looking, and then Gilgalad looked and said, "Dwarves, Durin, little Durin."
Little D came through.
Little D looked out
in the clutch.
You know what I'm saying? And they ain't have arrows. They had bolts, like crossbows, and they was taking everybody out. Shout out to Arendir for how quick he took that daggone dagger and took out that damn orc.
It was like dwarves.
I was like, oh snap! You know, he took them dwarves.
Not playing no games, yo.
At all. And they basically, and then like Elrond, like, Durin, my guy. It's not Durin, it's Durin's homeboy that said, It said
Princess in Mourning.
Princess in Mourning, you couldn't make it. Elrond was like, what? You know, not knowing what's going on. So you basically see like the rest of this part where the dwarves made way for the elves to escape and take out a lot of the orcs. You go back to the little cliff that Sauron is there, and you see some of the orcs coming, and you see that orc that was Adar's main captain show up and was like, Lord, because probably a few minutes ago, he was like, they was all chanting his name, Lord Sauron, Lord Sauron, saying, speaking the black speech or whatever they talk. And then he was like, Lord Sauron, we're being overwhelmed. The dwarves, them little bastards showed up and they overwhelmed us. And Sauron was just like, shut your ass up, and stabbed him in the throat. And then you see the other orcs like, ooh, yeah, let's just get on.
That orc that was behind him, the way that he kind of like tiptoed backwards out of there.
Yeah.
I was so weak. He's like,
I see what we doing here. All right,
I'm just head on out.
Head on out. You be all right. And you basically see Sauron look over and he picks up the crown royal bag of 9 rings for men. And that's kind of the last you man. It basically was a velvet crown royal bag. Except it wasn't royal purple, it was kind of like a lighter purple or whatever. That's kind of like the last image that's the last time we see Sauron for the season. What you see next is the elves, you see Erendir and
Elrond, Gil-galad.
King Gil-galad show up to see, because they saw when Galadriel fell.
And
they go to the spot to see her. And Erendir is like, yo, commander. He's all about Galadriel, like that's his commander or whatever. And he's like checking on her, and they see that she got stabbed with Morgoth's thing. They don't know what she got stabbed with, but they see that the darkness and the poison is affecting her. That's also a callback to when Frodo got stabbed by the Nazgul with the Mordor blade, and he started getting infected. And remember, Arwen was like, yo, this is magic beyond me. My father needs to daggone cure. Where we see why her father was able to cure it. So what we get is Galadriel is like starting to die in the black poison. And that's when Gil-galad takes the ring and twists it back up right. And he started working his magic, elvish magic. And he's saying, hey, he basically was doing an exorcism. If you go back,
for all intents and purposes,
if you go back and look at the because he was speaking in Elvish, but you look at transcribe, he was like, I command the darkness to leave this body, to leave this body. When he was, Reverend Pastor Gil-galad, King Gil-galad was performing an exorcism on her, trying to get it out, but it was still spreading, because you got to think it's Morgoth, and Morgoth was the most powerful of the Valar that failed. So he's like, he was like that crown, and he was just like, it ain't working. And then Elrond had to come to terms to do what he really has been fighting to do this entire season.
Let me go ahead and give it his ring.
He took the ring himself and puts it on, and he helps, basically helps Gil-galad cure, purge whatever is inside of her. And then next thing you know, the next scene we see like all of the elves, they're leaving. And Eregion is done, son. You see the tower finally fall and collapse.
Tony, like that shot of him of Elrond looking, and then he turns his back, and then the tower just collapses right behind him. It's so good.
Great shot.
It's so good. Yeah. Tony, the next scene to me is so funny, right?
Okay.
So it's like the 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? They're just talking. It's like, yo, what should we do? And because Gil-galad's like, man, hey, Erendir, what would you do? Like, he's like, look, I need counsel. Y'all my counsel now.
Yeah.
And Erendir's like, man, I don't know, yo. Like,
Erendir's like, yo, I'm just a soldier. He says, y'all like the high elves and stuff, basically. He was like, they hurt, man. They tired.
He said, man, if they ain't broken, they broken in spirit.
Right. I mean, yeah, right. Right. It's what you used to say in sports when you coach. So are you hurt or you injured? Basically what it is. He said, are you hurt, you're injured. If you're hurt, you can still play.
Are you hurt? Are you injured? That's so
if
good.
If you're injured, then hey man, just go on and have a seat or whatever.
Nah,
And
definitely.
Gilgalad is looking and he's like talking to them, and then he go out on the cliff or where they at, and it was like because Galadriel had woke up because she was kind of like in a semi-coma type thing, and she's like, where he's at? He said, don't worry, the protection of the ring have us protected, can't nobody find us, you know, saying whatever. And then he gives her back the ring, and then he basically looks down at his people. They are downtrodden, they are hurting and stuff, and Gilgalad is just like, man, F this, we gonna get it back in blood. And he pulls out his sword and holds it up, and the elves that were there, even though they was beat to hell and they been through it, they was down for the fight and they was down ready to rumble. And Rashad, I'm going to guess something.
What's that?
I'm going to guess. There we go. That's the shot right there. That's the shot right there where I guess at this point that is going to be our elvish leaders
Tony,
going into season 3.
do you understand? Before you say that, I just want to explain this picture because, like, when I saw it, I said, "This is a dope picture," and then I audibly laughed because they're like they're like the resistance at the end of the Last Jedi. It's like 10 of them, and they talking about they about to go fight the orcs of Sauron.
You want to know the first thing I said when I saw when they pulled out this shot and I saw him with that sword like that? You know what I thought? I have the power. He-Man ass looking dude right here. I have the power.
By the powers of Grayskull. Look at that. Get out of here. Nah,
also, too, I think right here in this shot, we are seeing the transformation from Galadriel.
That's what I was about to say.
Still being a warrior, but now you see she's like the Lady Galadriel of the Force. So she has a dress on.
I'm glad I was about to say the same thing. Okay, so
but this is my thing, real quick. My theory.
Go ahead.
I think the location of this is what will become Rivendell.
That makes sense because it is
a lot of waterfalls.
It is by a river.
It's by a river. It's a lot of waterfall, and they say it's protected.
And it's a mountain. You know
and it's a mountain. So I'm thinking that this may be the location of Rivendell that we see later on in the thing, but we won't find that out until
hopefully season 3.
Hopefully season 3 gets greenlit. That's number 1.
Quick aside. So, of course, little inside baseball here for you guys. I do the thumbnails, I edit the stuff. So this morning when I just when I found this thumbnail and I you know what I'm saying, so, oh yeah, going back to episode, screenshot, boom, thumbnail. I edit everything. So I put it in Lightroom, and I'm noticing when I go to kind of like change this, because sometimes it'd be dark.
Yeah.
So I'm like increasing the exposure on the people. And as I'm increasing the exposure, like Galadriel is just hella white. And I'm like, so what I thought was definitely confirmed just by editing, because she has a very much a glow about her that is way artificial compared to like the rest of them in that shot. So what you said, like the transition of her being like Lady Galadriel, like be almost like I'm gonna say like ethereal Galadriel, because she comes off very like super angelic in the Peter Jackson trilogy. So that's why I was like, oh yeah, I see the transition here. She's about to fall back from fighting and just be delegating. But yeah, you're right.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I believe right now like Galadriel and King Gilgalad and like the guy that ends up being Galadriel's the elf that ends up coming Galadriel's husband, and then that one elf that was supposed to get rid of the elvish rings but he kept it, you know, the shipwright dude. They're like I believe they're the oldest living elves left on Middle Earth right now, because remember Galadriel's been there since the first age when the trees or whatever got taken out. But yeah, man, this was a good season. I mean, you know, good things come to those who wait, like you said, Rashad. And people need to realize that everything doesn't have to be in order for an episode to be good. This is where dialogue comes into play. This is where storytelling come into play. I want to give a shout out to director of this, Charlotte
Brandstrom. Yeah.
Brandstrom, yes, very Nordic name or whatever.
Got them dots over there. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Brandstrom, she did a great job, what I'm saying, with this episode. And now that
I think she did like all the major battle episodes she did.
I think she did too.
Yeah, good job,
and
man.
I just want to say, now that everything is set up. Season 1 was basically given background. This season right here, set up, and now we're going to start the war, because I believe they said they want to make this 5 seasons. Go ahead and get this greenlit so we can get season 3, 4, and 5. I would not be surprised if season 3 is still a little slow. You're going to see some battles and stuff. I think all hell is going to break loose with season 4 kind of falls into play, because you got to think he has to get. So what happens in the Second Age? I think the next season is going to focus where Sauron manipulates the Numenorians, the men. Because something major happens where the Numenorians smell they goddamn selves, and they smell like, because I know about they smell themselves, and I think that's what's going to happen in season 3, and then the finale for season 3. Some of y'all gonna be like, oh shit, type stuff that's going to happen.
You know what's funny too? Again, on thread, somebody posted Bear McCreary, the composer. Shout out to him too. Like, he put in work this season. I can't even lie. The music has been great. And he was reading a book, talking like, just like a little quick picture, a little small caption. That's what book he was reading. Oh yeah, he said, oh yeah, I went home. He said, I went home and I found this little book to read. The book was The Fall of Numenor. So my guess, season 3, Fall of Numenor, like you said, The Fall of Man. Like, I can't wait. This is
like, I like, seriously, so good,
y'all.
I don't want to tell y'all what happens in the book of the Silmarillion, what happens with Numenor, but when you see how trash these folks, I'm gonna just say this: don't bite the hand that feeds you. That's the That's the best way to explain, man. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, dog. For real. Know your place and don't bite the hand that feeds you. But yeah, man. Rashad,
this has been a blast to do. I can't even lie. It's very bittersweet. This is one of the few things that we covered a lot of stuff this year. This has been probably my most fun thing to do. I'm not saying the best thing. Oh no, but definitely the most fun.
Yeah,
we've had. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is right up there with like House of the Dragon fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even lie, yo. Shout out to everybody that's been watching, whether you on YouTube or on any of the podcasts, where you get your podcast from. We appreciate you guys. Like I always say, we do other stuff too.
So, question, we got to do it. Normally we do
MVP. We're doing season episode.
We're doing season. We normally do episodes, so that's just the finale.
All right. So who? And I think this pissing people off. Who's only picking 4? So who we got?
Okay, let's give our candidates who MVP. Lil Durin.
Yeah,
Durin is he? I believe he's in the running because he saw early on
that his daddy was being corrupted, and
then trying to stop it, and then next thing at the end of this episode, sending the dwarvish army to help out. So of course him. Adar.
Yeah.
My reasoning for Adar, my man had a strategy for this battle, and it basically worked. You know what I'm saying?
To perfection.
So Adar. I'm not gonna say the obvious because we already know. We're gonna save him for last. Who the obvious is? Let me give you another MVP of this season. I'm gonna say Elrond. And the reason, and Elrond gradually became MVP because he realized what the power of those rings were.
Yeah.
What could possibly happen, but he was being stubborn about it, not wanting to do it because of Senator's Rex, or at the time, whatever his name, I forget, Helendir, or whatever his name was. Elbrand, excuse me, at that time. And then he finally came through and helped out in cleansing Galadriel. I can't say Galadriel was an MVP.
Nah, I mean, main character, yes. And I don't.
I can't.
I'd be hard pressed to say MVP.
Yeah. That's really it. The only other person, we just gotta say it.
Senator's Rex himself.
Senator's Rex himself. The new Dark Lord, the new Dark Lord of Middle Earth, Sauron. I've said it since what, episode 2, 3. This man has played the elves like a harp from hell. He played them like a harp from hell.
Oh god, he has though.
He bended so many people to his will. He was able to get the dwarves, to get them to Mithril, to create the rings for them. He you know what I'm saying? He sat back and just watched as Eregion was getting mollywopped and ain't kicked. He put a blinding eye over Celebrimbor to the.
No, you good.
He put a blinding eye over Celebrimbor that could, you know what I'm saying, where Celebrimbor was just completely enamored and just trying to make this happen. So, yeah, man, listen. When you put this poll up here, Rashad, and if this ain't Sauron in fine colors, I'm gonna be pissed. But knowing how some of y'all are, y'all just gonna not vote for Sauron because I said this or whatever. But I don't care.
Nah, man. Like
we all know
the MVP of the season.
Standing tall, he has the orc army now.
Yep.
He has the 9 rings of the men.
Yep.
He has helped weaken the elves
and or whatever. And he has the crown of Morgoth.
And he got the crown of Morgoth. And on top of that, he helped weaken the dwarves as well.
Yeah.
Dude is the MVP of. He is the MVP of this season. But if you think it's somebody else, go ahead, man.
Let us know. Either way, man, let us know in the comments who you think the MVP was. I don't yeah, man. Like, this has just been a very fun, very well made television, man. Like,
yeah.
Again, I'm very I'm still surprised that they spent $1 billion to get the rights on this, and they at minimum spent 200 to 225, maybe $50 million to make this season of television.
Right,
and it is no way in hell to get a return on profit of this unless y'all clicking on stuff during ads. Which I almost did. Like, there was a really interesting ad about like a steamer / iron, like an ironer, like a presser at the same time. I was like, oh man, I could use that like on trips and stuff. I said, man, I know what y'all doing. So yeah, like, other than that, man, like, I'm so
and
good.
Also too, you know, a lot of people are gonna be like, man, this ain't what, you know what I'm saying, Tolkien would have did, or his son. Simon Tolkien, the son of Christopher Tolkien, is a consultant on this thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is what it is, man. I mean, as I always say, man, enjoy good television. You know, don't stop sitting here just hating on something just for the sake of, you know, saying hating on it. And then if something gets canceled and it be because of better people, like, man, I can't believe they canceled. Well, y'all motherfuckers just talking trash about it the whole time. what are we doing here?
Y'all behind that happen both ways.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, like you said, Rashad, not saying this is the best. We'll give y'all at the end of the season, end of the year. We'll do our end of the year. But one of the most fun shows that we like to do, or whatever.
But yeah, shout us on all the socials, man. You know, IG, TikTok, Facebook if you're nasty. All the real people on Threads. I just gotta say that. All the real people on Threads. Get on Threads, man. We can have actual conversations with somewhat a logical bunch of people. It hasn't been overrun yet by the weirdos. But yeah, man. That's all I got for this one.
Yes.
Anything else on it?
No, I guess the only thing that we're working on right now, like I said, is Agatha all along. We did that. Go back and check that out. We're going still trying to decide. Rashad was talking about doing Mobile Suit Gundam.
Oh yeah. The Mobile Suit Gundam, A Requiem for Vengeance on Netflix. It's a 3D animated series, so we'll see how that first episode goes.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes as well. Question, Rashad. I know you said you didn't like the first one. Are you going to see Joker?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
He said not. Because I know you said
Tony, the fact that I hate the first one and the fact that this one is like a pseudo musical, no thanks. I won't even waste my time.
I think I'm gonna check it out.
Hey, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it and just explain the movie to me. I don't care.
But I think I'm gonna check it out. But yeah, but for those on the movie side, if you're wondering what's the next movie we're gonna probably as of right now, it looks like it is going to be Gladiator 2 is going to be the next, big movie that we are going to, because it's kind of slow for movies that we would want to watch.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a slow season
to review it. I think the only thing close enough that we would have done is Transformers, but I still ain't seen that. I don't know if you saw it, Rashad or whatever. So if I ever watch it and whatever, we'll see. But yep, that's about it for us. Like you said, like, subscribe, share on everything. I'm Tonio. This is Rashad.
See you next time.